since yes, and now since March, I occupied it with my business with my business idea. So finally, we will open a restaurant here in Paris with my business partner and big friend Jordan. So we're two in this business. It will be a restaurant in the 11 arrondissement in Paris. So it's small building that you can find just in the left down. It's such a big restaurant. It will be about 60 guests, and it's a really nice building in the good square. But there are nothing, so we should to do all the things. So since March, I occupied by this. So I go there every day to destroy the walls, to bring the water for the people who construct something. So I always do the job like this. So I would like to talk to you about my foreign experience because it's for me something great. Um, this year I have a chance to go to Hong Kong for 3 months. For me, it was something like in
I'm
international.
sorry, Maxim, and your presentation, we can see only the first slide.
Ah,
So you can check it.
yes, it didn't work.
You can switch.
No, not which. Maybe it's okay like this.
I think down it is like this arrow, left down corner.
Oh yes. Oh, I will try again.
Oh, yes.
Maybe it's better.
Yes, now we can
Oh,
see.
I'm sorry. So this is a slide just before that I talk about my experience. And then, so now we move to Hong Kong. Can you see it?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So it was just quite a nice experience in Hong Kong. I was worked in Mission Star in Tate dining room. For me, it's something was like another world with a lot of nice products. For example, I can assist to production of tofu. On the right side, you can see the soja beans. So it was broiled. Then we received a soja milk. Then we put some enzyme there, and this was like something like a cheese actually. So we received the tofu, and just the picture under, you can see the plates that we put put in the restaurant to Mission Star. It was a sauce, mushroom sauce under, small tofu, small tofu with bread by dry tuna, putarg, just on the top. There are such nice experience because the way how they cooked, it's such a different. They mixed a lot of flavors. For example, they can put pig with chicken, pork with chicken, and pigeon at the same time, in the same plate. So it was something just extremely nice. And there I understood that cuisine, it's all about mixing of the flavors. It's such important associations of the ingredients that do a plate great things, that create some memories, something really interesting. And for example, I can work with nice products like the crab, or they used a lot of green vegetables like green bean, daikon, etc. Taro, for example. So really nice. And then I moved to California, and I have such nice experience in New York in the restaurant Union League Cafe. It's 2 hours from New York. I always thought that in Paris it's the greatest place in the world for products, but you know that California can be a good rival for France. because the products, it's such an amazing thing there. The people so sensible to the farmer markets. For example, I was in Santa Barbara, in the small city, just 2 hours from Los Angeles. And just to give you some idea, you can find the farmer markets in the center of the city every 2 days. And the products just sound great. It is a great wine. And a lot of people love to eat the vegetables, so well cooking. A lot of good restaurants there. And in New York, in the east side, it was another experience. You can see in the left in the picture of my team where I worked there. I was really surprised because the American people, they usually changed the ingredients in their plate. It was for me such something incredible because we received the order in the kitchen and then I saw the name of the plate and just under in the red line, it was right what the people would like not to eat. They would like to change. And I asked the chef how we manage this one. And he said that we have no chance. It's like this. So we always provision something like a side for one plate. So it's always complicated. It's like something like a Lego. So you take off one ingredient, you put another one, and usually the people don't eat something because they something like a allergy. But I'm not sure that it's really allergy because it's not tolerant, for some ingredients. But it was great, and if you have a chance to go to New York or California especially, not hesitate to go there because for restaurant area, it's such a nice country. So I would like to talk more about kitchen, how it's situated, what it should be. For example, in the left picture, you can find a restaurant in Mirazur. It's found in you can find this restaurant in the south of the France, in the small city Menton. It's the chef, it's Mauro Colangreco. He's really famous here in France. He worked a lot about the vegetables. And for example, you can see a screenshot of their cuisine. It sounds like a really modern, open cuisine. As that's nowadays, it's really nice to do. Because I think the time when the kitchen was closed, the basement, it's finished actually. Now I think the people would like to see what's happened here in the kitchen, how the cookers prepare the dish. Because for me, it's like something like an art actually. So the cuisine, it's costs a lot of, it's expensive, and in the right side we can see what we'll do, how cuisine will be in our restaurant. It's the good cuisine, it's really expensive, so we'll do our best. And I think this one, it will be something really nice. It's a good quality, good price for us, but we will would like to approach a little bit for this restaurant Mirazur, to do the cuisine open, that the people can come to just for discuss with the cookers, to ask them what they do, or for taste something, for example. Here I present to you some factory of the cuisine. It's Angelo, who represents in France, who's really famous. It's Enodis, Maltoni, Charvet, Angelo Po. Angelo Po is from Italy. Enodis is from here, Paris. It's a good factory, but expensive. Maltoni, for example, when I would like to open our restaurant, I called them and I asked, is it possible to order your kitchen? And they said that, we're overbooked. It's not possible because it's a really famous factory in France. And Charlotte, you should to buy right equipment because today it's such an important things. Before to open a restaurant, you should to think what you should to do, what cuisine you should to do. And I think it's a better way to program your menu. And with this, you can understand what you need in the equipment. it's something like new technologies. Of course, you can do a cuisine, you can cook with ordinary things because all the people before did. But now we talk about energy. So good equipment can keep energy. So you lost less money, and you can win a time. That's really precious in the cuisine. I just would like to give you some example. For example, this is a small machine. It's something like a freezer, but not really, because this machine, its name of Aerial. So we will have this one in our restaurant. It's something expensive things. So it can be blast freezing in 18 degrees, and it can go up 85 degrees. So I just to show you how it's work. In the right side, we have a plate that I cooked vitello tonato. It's about veal and tuna sauce. Veal you should to cook in the base temperature about 54 degrees. And without this machine, without Aerial, I put the veal in the ordinary oven all night. So I went to the home like 11 p.m. and I come back 8 p.m. and from 11 to 8 p.m. the veal was in the oven. So you can think about energy. It was a lot of energy, it depends. And the meat, it was nice, but the meat not really need a lot of time to cook. For example, this meat need just about 2 hours in 54 degrees. It's enough. This machine, Aerial, you can program. It means that you put your meat in 11 p.m. You put a program that it should cook 54 degrees during 2 hours, and then it's finished themselves. It's cooled down to 3 degrees, and it's still just like a freezer, like a cooler during the morning. So I come back at 8 a.m. to the work, and I take off my veal, cooked and cool, and I put in the fridge, ordinary fridge. So that's why it's something amazing. You can dry something there, you can do a pasteurization, and you can pro it through. That's why we took this machine too, because we'll have
Can you hear us?
you can always economize, for example, in the construction. Every day I go to work for destroy the walls. So we economy with this one, but we don't economy with the good equipment for the kitchen. Now I would like to talk more about cuisine, French cuisine, about the products. And first of all, I should say that good quality products matter. It's in France, it's such an important thing. For example, we received the good fish in the left side, in the left picture, and on the right, it's the plates that I prepare with this fish. We should always put the ingredients in value. In France, it's so important things. You should never destroy something, like a good product. For example, this fish I just I marinated and I snacked in the two sides a little bit, and just put a plate like this, like the summer plates, nice with vegetables, bulgur, kumquat. So it's not nice. It's really nice. The name of the fish, it's dolphin fish. So just see, it's a really good taste, but it's not really pretty. But the taste is nice. Of course, it's you should to buy local things. And if you return just my conversation before that, you always should to put a value for ingredients. we received this sap champignon, and I put the ingredients in the middle of the plates, these mushrooms, and then I did some sauce with foie gras, just for say that foie gras it wasn't a good quality, so I can do the sauce with something that is not good quality but good taste. And champignon, I cut in half, and that's okay. In France, it's nice things to buy local. A lot of big chefs here have their gardens outside of Paris, and just they give the address for their guests where their garden is situated, so the guests can go there to taste the products, to see how it's grow up there. And for example, the famous chef Alain Passard, they have two gardens in the south of the France and in the north of the France. And he said that the taste of the vegetables, of the same vegetables, it's not the same from the south of the France and from the north of the France. The ingredients is really, the taste is really different actually. If you have your gardens, it's okay. So you should have a person who occupied it by themselves. You should always think that it costs a lot of. It's always more expensive to buy local than to buy just the good products in the one of factory who produce it. So that's why you should take care about these products and to put some value about this. You can never to do, for example, this soup with sap like this, you know. So you should always do good work, and when during the service, you should to explain for your guest that this is vegetables come from this place, from this farmer, and the people is really sensible for this. But you can calculate it that you can buy one product, one local product who is nice, and then you buy another for do the puree, for example. But you take a good products. For example, you take a small carrot from the local farmers, and you take carrot just like this, and you take just less expensive carrot to do the carrot to puree carrot. You know, so it should always calculate because it's about business. And for example, if you just do good plates and your plates is really expensive, basically, so people will not come too because your plates will so expensive, you know. So you should do always think about it. Few words about service. You know, all the things that I will talk to you, it's not something that maybe you can find in Google. It's based in my experience that I thought about it. But all the things that I told, we will introduce in our restaurant. So it's something that we'll use in the practice. I think that nowadays, if you talk about a good restaurant, one Michelin star, two Michelin star, the service should be easy, relaxed, fluent, and especially professional. It's hard to find a good professional people, but you always can touch them how to do. Someone waiter can be really relaxed, fluent, speak easily if they know how to do these things, if he's professional. I'm always have a different, you know, example that we can come the good restaurant, really high quality, high level, and it's always something like a cold, you know, you didn't, it's not the place where you are good, where you're good, when you're well mood, you know, it's always like a hard spirit. I think the really art of the service is do these things easily, fluently. Maybe maybe it is a really good restaurant. The chefs can speak with the good words, employ speak about the simple things, because always people can be so professional, but the service is so cold. Or you can go in the restaurant where it's not expensive, just something like restaurant in the corner on the in the road, and you always good received, and it's something like a family, and you always to come back. So I think it's important to do in the good restaurant, uh, have to be always happy to receive your guests. So that's the way we will touch our personal. It's the good service is start about your staff, about your team. So it's important to having a right hospitality values. It's the values that important for us, for my business partner, for my friend Jordan and me. So I will talk just a little bit about it. First of all, for us, the most important is respect each other. You should do, I think that personnel can work in the big respect. After, we always prefer to take to the work someone with a good humanity, for example, just a good person, and to touch them to do something, they will become professional. That to take someone who are really professional, but they not have a hospitality value, So I think it's something difficult things to explain, but maybe you understood. We always prefer someone who don't know how to do, but who would like to know, for person who know all the things in the world, but but he don't want to accommodate for our restaurant. So for us, it's such an important point. Communication. It's I think it's the key of successful restaurant actually. If the communications is not good, your team will never be happy. It's important that all the member of your team can say what they think about, can say to express themselves. It's such important things, but in the way of respect. He can express herself, but if it respect another person, to do it's the good way the things, if there's something to say, he should to say, but in the good way. And of course, in France, it's a lot about precision and rigor, because we have the way how to work, and it's something like a military things, here in France, because if you haven't this stuff in restaurant, it's extremely hard that your restaurant functional good. So there are some rules, savoir faire, savoir être in France, that all the people should to do. If not, it's not work. So just about team, about this is some pictures about from last summer from my team. It was such great experience for me from Corsica. We can provide something a good vibe in your restaurant, and it's it's always important to give a good example for your team how to do, and to work with a good mood. You always should to come to the work early and work with them. You cannot just give the order for someone and go to drink a coffee. It's not work like this. So for me, it's such an important thing that it's a team spirit, maybe to go somewhere to take a picture with people, to do something nice. So for us, it's important things too. To, for example, I know it's like a family vibe, because when people come to the restaurant, I think that they always can to understand if the personnel in this restaurant is good or not, if they really like what they do or not. you know, it's something that you cannot explain with the words, but you can understand with the spirit in the restaurant. I think for that, to do a good restaurant nowadays, you should never forget where you come from. Here in Paris, that you know, a lot of restaurants here, and there are a lot of competitor, and it's hard to open and to do your business well, because always, you know, the chef, they open the restaurant and it's not work, just because the people don't know what is the cuisine, what is the restaurant about. Here in Paris, storytelling is such an important thing. The people should understand why they go in this restaurant and what we will eat in this restaurant. So that's why your personal story, I think, is such an important thing, because a lot of French chefs, they participated in the tele show, talk show, like Master Chef or Top Chef. It's famous things here, and with this one, they create their image, and then they open the restaurant because all the people know there by this reality show. But always people ask me if I would like to do something like a reality show, but I always said that if I can achieve my goals without this one, I will happy, because reality show, it's really nice. They do the great job there, but it's still reality show, you know. So it's can go in the good way or in the bad way for you. You don't know how it's spent, how it will spend for you. So for our restaurant, we decided that we will introduce my origins, Ukrainian origins. So, you know, I will do like a French cuisine, but my final Ukrainian touch. So the people can try, you know, my personal cuisine, and they will know that, oh, here's some guy from Ukraine, he do cuisine, so we can go there. The restaurant, the name of the restaurant will be Dacha. That's really confirmed for us, because it's talked about the gardens, about family, about Ukraine, because all the people, well, not all, but usually people have something like a dacha in our cities. And I was grow up in our dacha from just near from Odessa. And it's something close for me, and we always like that a village spirit, to bring a village spirit in the middle of Paris. So I think it's a great idea. It will be such a nice restaurant there. Of course, we should to talk today about ecology. It's such an fundamental things nowadays. Here in France, we have a lot of associations who can help to you with to be a green restaurant. We have something like Love Your Waste, Yes We Green, or Oleovia. For example, if you like to recycle your oil. A really nice label. It's eco table, but you know that 2 Michelin star or 3 Michelin stars, they would like to have this label eco table, because it means that you're a green restaurant, you respect the environment. And since 3 years, the Michelin guide proposed a green star too. And you have, if you'd like to have green star, so you should to take care about water, about gas. You should to use more electricity in your restaurant. All it's of course about the waste, so zero waste. It's not something new. I think you know a lot about it, but you know, just to say that here in France, it's a fundamental things too. Just a few words about digital innovation. I don't know if it's really innovation or not, but that's the things that we use nowadays here. It's about Zen Chef. or open table is a system for reservation to the restaurant. It's nice things because it creates the address of your guests. For example, when people come to your restaurant, so they booked by, for example, Zen chefs that we will have in our restaurant, and they put their allergy, and the system is saved all these things. And then when the guests come back, so you can recognize them. And for example, if we come back for this restaurant in the south of the France with Mauro Colangreco, he's never repeat the plates. I know it's three Michelin star, but anyway, he can know what the people eat last time, so we'll never prepare the same dish for this guest. So if you would like to come back for the restaurant, you will not eat the same things. And that's, I think, is such a great, it's for me, like a chef, it's a gold too, because I think that it's always important to prepare the new dish, never repeat. I think when you prepare one plate, it's nice, but there are a lot of recipes in the world, a lot of nice things to create, because cuisine, it's it's about love, it's about patience, and when you start to do the same things, when your menu still the same during 6 months, it's not really possible for me, because it's something like a routine actually, and I think it's a horrible things routine. That's why I chosen this job, because it's permit to me never do something like a routine, because there are a lot of ingredients, a lot of flavors, you can always mix the flavors, and that's why I think great. For me, it's a great idea that when you order something in your supplier, you order something exact, for example, 5 kilo potatoes, 3 kilos of carrot, etc. But for me, something great, then you don't know what suppliers will do to you. It means that you come in the morning to work, and suppliers give you the vegetables, seasonal vegetables that he has now, and you should create recipes with these vegetables online, like this. You receive, I don't know, cucumber, carrot, something like this, and you create the recipes with ingredients that suppliers give it to you. And for example, it's like with fish. For me, it's something really nice that you not order the fish what you would like. You receive the fish that your suppliers have, who catch on this morning, So this is for me a really nice idea. Just to come back for digital innovations, for example, we have the chef open table for reservation system, and for us, for the chef, a really nice innovations. It's an application like a Shoko. It means that you not should to call for your suppliers. You can just pass the order by application, but with your phone. It's such a simple things. It was something like a startup in Paris here in France, and now it's really developed all over the world. I think that in Germany you have the same things. It's nice, you have all the suppliers. You can have 10 suppliers, and all the suppliers introduce in these applications. It means that after service, you not need to call them each other. You just take your phone, you put your order, and that's it. So you spend less time, and you receive by mail the confirmation. So you do less error too. But just it's a positive sides, but the negative sides that is always nice to call to the person, to the suppliers, and to talk them about, to ask how was your day, you know, because you talk to always to the same person, you know. It's new technology, but it's really nice. So you can keep your time. A few words about exchange experience. For me, it's something really important. It's during a lot of time. For example, in the left side in the picture, you can see this picture of me with one girl who we organized something like a market, you know, when all the people can prepare something nice to eat, and then we sold this one for the another students, and all the money we spent to the children who need it. So I would like to continue this way. I think for me it's such an important things, because our job it's about food, and there are a lot of people in the world who haven't the chance to just to eat actually. So we will prepare something like a charity dinner, when we will invite the person, they will come back for the dinner, and all the benefits we will do to the UNICEF or another associations. And the hospitality school where I was studying in Tonon-les-Bains in France, it was one associations like Humanitaire. So it was like a small group of students who go to Thailand and who bring something from France, and especially knowledges. So they showed how prepare French cuisine. It was such a great experience too. And I think it's create something new. It's for me that should be a good restaurant like this, you know. Just not it's of course it's about business, but I think it should be something about humanity too. It's quite important thing for me. And also I would like that the restaurant will be like a lively place where the people can think that it's something, you know, it's not a cold restaurant. It's the place where people come, they would like to come back. And I think if you apply the hospitality value, it will work. Of course, I would like that to create something four hands dinner. It means that another chef come to the restaurant, we cook together, we create something new. It's you know, it's always exchange, and you should always to ask yourself what I can do better to do better. If you not ask what's the way to do the best things, you will never, I think you will never achieve the objective. You'll ever stay in your place. So that's why I think you should to be open with your heart first of all, and to invite a new person to come to the restaurant to do something new, to cool, to exchange the ideas. So I hope that it's our restaurant. It will be something the place like this. So if you know someone, or you, if you like to cook something, you can come to the restaurant, and we will cook together. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening me, and maybe you have any questions.
Thank you. Do you have some questions? Need to prepare? Or probably somebody from Zoom? Okay, please think about the questions. I have one question about your work in USA and other countries. It was like the work or internship?
Oh yeah, it was like an internship actually, and not really work. You know, I go there for Hong Kong. I was just 3 months there, and in the USA it was just 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So it was just a small experience, but quite nice.
And can you give some suggestions for the students that probably also they want to have such kind of internship all over the world? How you can find it or how it works?
Oh, you know, it's social network. I will be honest with you. For example, for two restaurant where I went there, um, it's because we have friends from the school, hospitality and culinary school in France, where I studied. So the students like me, who graduated before me, they went to another country all over the world. So you know, it's like a reason actually, social reason of the hospitality school where I was studying there. So it's, but you know, I think if you really would like to go into one restaurant, you can always write them. I think the good chef, if it's really good chef, it's always open for something like this. You know, I always place myself from myself, and I ask the same question. If I receive the mail from one guy who live, I don't know, in Argentina, and he said me, "Oh, I'm speaking English. Can I come to your restaurant just for 2 weeks to touch something new? Is it possible?" I said, "Of course, it's possible." The problem that it's just to stay, so the flat. The problem, you should do something to find where you can live in. But if you have the place where you can stay, it's not a problem to come. I'm always happy to receive someone. We always come back to exchange because it's always exchange, you know. The restaurant where I want, they was happy to that I come because I bring maybe I think it was happy because I bring something new. You know, they asked me if I can prepare something with Ukrainian plates. So they discovered new things, and you should always try. I think with good chef, the door is never closed.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So, questions? Okay.
She speaks a lot of entrepreneur.
That's okay, okay.
Yeah, have you taken part in any like unique dining experiences or concepts in the restaurants you have worked in?
Oh, I'm sorry for my. Can I take a part? What do you mean? I'm sorry.
Explain more.
Okay, like in the restaurants you have worked in, have you had like this unique concept, something like interesting, something new for the guests? Yeah, that you
Okay.
would say, oh, it's a unique concept or unique experience for them.
Um, I start to answer it. I'm not sure that I understood well the question, but I give you answer, and if it's not this answer for your question, you said me after, please. So the concept, you know, that it's such important things because I just will come back for the originals. You should never. I think you should always think what I can do that's not existing now. That's a good concept. You should to do something that's not existing in the place where you would like to open your restaurant. It's if you open something that exists yet, you should be really the best of the best one, really the best. For example, I will take my example. Mm, you know, I can do French cuisine, but I really understand very well that I'm not the best one guy in the France to do the French cuisine, just French cuisine, because in Paris there are a lot of nice restaurants, three Michelin star. It's something they do the amazing things. It's big culinary history here. So I maybe one day, 12 years, I will can do something that's the same level. But I said myself, what I can do, nice. So that's why I decided to put, you know, some touch, my Ukrainian touch from my originals, just to be like, I don't know, I don't really like this word, but just to be a little bit different from the other people, you know, because it's not existing here. you can, yeah, you can find the Ukrainian restaurant here, but I would like to do something more interesting, you know, to because I have a lot of knowledge in French cuisine. So if I take this base and I will put my knowledges and my experience and my originals and travels too, maybe we can do something new, something interesting. We'll see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And questions? No? Why you are so shy? You need to ask. And probably from the Zoom we have questions, or you can write. Here, we will see the chat. We have thank you words. Thank you. Okay, and questions? Yes, please.
I think you said you wanted to have your own restaurant, right? Open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you started like the process, or how is it like looking for a new place, looking for chefs? How is it the whole process of opening a restaurant?
Oh, it's hard things, you know. But actually, I worked here before in Paris, so I'm still from since 5 years, and I know it's I have a reason, you know, like I know the people, I have a friends who are the cookers like me, so I'm not a famous chef here, but I worked with some people and we really liked to work together. And I suggest them if they can join me. And they said yes. So I found yet my sous chef and pastry chef. We have a director for our restaurant, the really nice girl. She will join us in September. So you know, you shouldn't afraid something. You just should to start to work, and then you will create your friends. You will know the other people in the same area, in the restaurant business, and how it's work actually. You, you know, I think it's simple to find just a commis. I know it's a person who just in the first step in the in the kitchen. It's simple because it's not a high qualified personnel. But if you would like that your restaurant would work well, you always should to keep a reason to keep your friends. Actually, if you know, if you can, if I can consider you something, if you meet someone who is a nice person, who is do well your job, keep in touch with him. It always will help you one day if you really want to open a restaurant. You can also write them and ask if you'd like to join me. When I say to keep in touch, it means that you can write, I don't know, not every month. You can write something to ask how are you, just one per 2 months or 3 months. But it's important to keep in touch. It's how jobs how our work, how it's work here in France. I think it's the same things all over the world.
Thank you. And is it difficult the work with the documents for some to open it?
Oh yeah, of course. Here a lot of documents to do, but you know, it's not really hard. It just it takes a lot of time actually, because you know, I think all people know that France is a great country, but a lot of papers here. So you should just to do to be quiet, to do and to do step by step. So it's take a time, but you can do, you can all do. It's nothing is forbidden. I think the government is really open for business, and they, you know, now we construct our restaurant, and all the people who passed just near, they entered to this building, and they asked what we'll do there. and the building where we will do our restaurant, it was destroyed since 5 years, or it were nothing there. So all the people is really happy that something will happen in their square, and the government the same things. You know, they're happy that the new business who come in the square, so it means that more people, good vibe. So it's such an open things here.
Okay, thank you. And do you have some marketing strategy or how you want to promote it? Do you have some plans?
Oh yeah, of course. Actually, oh, it's really it's a good idea. I should to add this one in my presentation, but I haven't done enough time. It's a good question. In France, there are a lot of associations who give more visibility to a restaurant. For example, the things like foodie. It's a guide, food guide, like the fork, of course. It's a lot of such like les collectionneurs, the association of the good restaurant, Collège Culinaire de France. It's also one association, and you know, it's something like a mission guide, but less no, the people don't know about it. But if you participate, of course you should to pay to participate there, but it's not something big money. If you participate in these associations, but you participate in the conditions if your restaurant is in good place, if you do a good job. This association never will take a bad restaurant, you know. So if you do a good job, you apply, and it's give you more visibility, and the people are really sensible for this. So if you put in the door, the facade of your restaurant that you a member of these associations that are called, the people will enter because they heard about it, and they happy to eat in the place who was recommended by someone. If you have a Michelin star, it's another level, of course, but it's work like a Michelin star a little bit here in France. And of course, it's a social media, of course.
Okay, thank you. So, questions?
Okay. Do you think it's difficult to be profitable as a restaurant?
I'm sorry, I didn't heard.
Do you think it is profitable
Yeah.
to have a restaurant?
Oh, yeah, of course. Um, you know, I'll be honest with you. Here in Paris, a lot of restaurants, a lot of. It's for me, it's divided on the three part. One part, it's for tourists. It's I think it's negative sides because a lot of people come to Paris and they go to the small restaurants. It's really not tasty because the people who work is expensive. So um, uh, the owner of the restaurant can do good cuisine. They take the freezing ingredients, you know, so it's not good things. Another part, it's the Michelin star restaurant. There are a lot of here in Paris too. It's a great place. It's a great cuisine. It's expensive, so we have some money to go there to try a really French cuisine, and it's something amazing. One Michelin star in Paris, it's about something like a two Michelin from another part of the world, because here it's really hard to achieve a Michelin star. And another part, third part, it's just a good restaurant, you know. They're not really famous, but when you call them to like to book a table, it's never possible. You should to wait 10 days or 5 days to book a place. So, but it's such important things that the square where you put your restaurant nowadays here, you should understand that it's the place where decision makes. So it means that you can do a great job, a great cuisine. But if your restaurant situated, it's not good place, it will not work actually. But when I see not good place, it's not means the city where it's another city or just a good place. It can be one road, you know, one street where it's work, and just in the corner, it's not work. And that's it's something crazy things. You know, you can be just I don't know 15 meters from the restaurant where a lot of people, but 15 meters after it's not work. So you should always before when you start, you should to do a lot of marketing just to that the people know what about your cuisine. You should to you should really work with marketing. It's really great things here. If not, the people will not come, so it will not really interesting. But if you could do a good job, really, French people are really sensible for this. French people sensible if you the good restaurant, good meal, good price, good wine, they come, no problem.
Okay, thank you. Questions? Okay, can I ask you last question? So,
Yeah, of course.
can you tell us some differences between trends in France and, for example, in USA and other countries that you visited as a professional?
Yeah, the difference in the restaurant area you talk about it.
Yeah, some trends, some
Oh,
new interesting things.
oh, you know, I think it's more the difference, not really in the restaurant. Difference is a culture actually. It that really counts. I will give you some just example. I was in USA and I was with my friend. Entered to he has two restaurants, and the second restaurant is just like a brasserie, French brasserie, you know, not high level, but really nice meal, really good restaurant too. And I asked them why they kept, you know, like a store between the table when we can find during the COVID. You know, it's just each table divided by one store. And I asked the COVID, it's finished. Why you keep this one? And he said that, you know, American people really love to talk with each other. It's something crazy things. It's not existing in in our culture in Ukraine and in France, not yet. I think that the people in one table can start to another people for another table, and it's crazy things. But I think it's great. It's people are really open. They like to talk. They talk about. It's amazing. And in this restaurant, they keep the store. Is the reason for the people don't talk about with each other, so they spend less time in the table, so they can have more guests, you know. So it's like a difference in the culture. But you say I really like it. For example, I was with my friends in one restaurant, and we finished our conversation with another people where I never knew, and they asked the address of our restaurant in Paris. So I give my address, and they said that I will come, that they will come one day. So it's crazy, you know. The people always love to talk, to have conversations with open mind, open heart. It's nice. In Asia, it's quite different. It's really different. The people I know the people really. I don't know all the Asia. I was just in Singapore and Hong Kong. It's two cities. You know, there are a lot of rich people. So, for example, Hong Kong is a city where you can find more Michelin star restaurant per 1 meter square. So it's really something really concentrated. And the people, I don't know, the people go to the restaurant just to show that I will there. You know, it's like something like I know that I think it's mainstream, but it's I think it's in their culture maybe. But always Hong Kong people really love you know, dumplings, Hong Kong style, small restaurants, a lot of things there, really good, really nice cuisine too. It was something like a big discovery for me.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think it was very interesting. Do you like it? Okay, great. So we have some things in our chat also, and we will have this recording. So again, thank you very much. It was really very good, and I think your English is very good. Yes, what do you think? Yes, so don't afraid.
You
We
understood
can
me.
continue to make lectures. I think I will ask you in the future also some kind of.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to me. It was really honor for me to participate in this conference in your university.
Okay,
Thank you so
great.
much.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
bye. See you.
Bye. Thank you. See you.
Bye. Bye. Okay.